everybody, Brandon here from GameTrailers.com. I'm joined by Mr. Kyle Bossman.
Hi everybody.
Mr. Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Let's all go to the trailers, everybody. I got tons of energy last week. I claimed I was tired. You advised me against saying that. Well, I'm very not tired. I had a lovely 3-day weekend. I hope you guys had too. A little late with the episode this week. If you guys didn't get the memo before on social media or in previous episodes, Let's All Go to the Trailers will now be on Monday, because that works perfectly into our schedule. And Let's All Go to the Trailers will be coming to YouTube pretty soon, so you can go there to check it out. And of course, you can always come to GameTrailers to check out GameTrailers, as well as our conversation pieces about trailers. You feel good about trailers this week, Kyle?
Yeah.
You feel good?
I don't know if I feel good about the trailers, but we'll get to them.
All right, let's get to them. I think this is a first for Let's Go, talking about a toy, a product, and not just a game. This is an exciting trailer, but I have no idea what this is. I know what Unki is. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced.
You know what it is?
Unki?
I'm coming into this completely blind.
I remember seeing this at a CES or something, or seeing it like at a toy fair or something, and it's you put the board down, and then you have your car, and you can control your car through your phone. So you have an app on your phone, and I don't know if you can like level up your car in the interim when you're not playing with friends, but it's kind of the point being that like if you have this special board and you have these special cars and you have the app, it all works together. Clearly something else is happening to this game, but it just gets super technoed out. It just is one of those things that really frustrates me, where it's like, yeah, I guess you sold it because I'm curious about what it is, but I'm still curious about what it is following the announcement that was supposed to explain what it is. I don't believe any of the graphics. I mean, obviously the graphics of this board being built in real time obviously aren't true, but even the stuff that you see on the iPad and their phones, like, I don't buy that it's that smooth.
Right.
You have that many crazy moving parts. So I wonder if there was some presentation and this was shown before it, but I think just on its own, this doesn't work. And this is actually a conflict that I'm having on this podcast. It's like, we'll take a piece of media, and I'll say, well, I wish they had more information in it, but like maybe we're just taking that out of context. Like maybe it was like this, again, this was the beginning of a presentation. It's like you see this video and then the guy comes out and explains it. So because if that's what this video was created for, does the video itself need to explain the product? That's my question.
To me, this seems like a classic misleading children's toy commercial, and that's why I'm sour on it.
Yeah, because you can't do that. Like you can't have the thing fly up in the air like that, could you?
No.
Who knows? But they
You
really
can't. In real life, no, that's not going to be like that.
But
We
they
know
really
that
make
for
a
sure.
point to do like the Fast and the Furious, like, oh, I'm in the cockpit of the car and I can see the other car flipping over me. But it's like, wait, no, you're not in the driver's seat of that car. You're actually a kid with an iPhone controlling this thing.
Here's the thing. You have a cool product. This thing that the commercial starts with is cool. You can have a trailer about those without going so intense and dramatizing it so much.
I think one of the things that bothers me too is this is not an initial product reveal. So Unki or I believe it's Unki, but like when this initially got announced, they presented it on stage and actually showed a live demo of it. So it's like very real, very tangible. And even if they had sold it like this, where they were just like, what if these 3 kids were hanging out in the coolest house ever and they're all best friends and they're wearing really stylish clothes and the cars look really cool and everything's lit perfectly. If it was to announce the initial product, that'd be one thing, but this is clearly like an upgrade. Like, it's like, oh, you thought you liked the old version of this, wait till you see the new one. And I cannot take a single element away. I don't know what's new. Like, the tracks look better, but I thought the fact that there weren't tracks was the benefit of the original game. There's like loops now, but like I can't understand how that works.
Yeah, do you build it like that? That's interesting.
So yeah, so there's this new CG car racer that builds the track in your house as you drive with missiles, and yeah, it's just crazy. But again, not something we really get into on the show. It's toys. I mean, this is just how you sell toys, I guess. I'm expecting to see the text along the whole side where it's like, cars do not actually backflip.
Never appears.
Tracks do not actually build themselves in real time. Which makes me wonder if this was, you're not going to see this commercial.
So do you have any idea how we ended up getting this then? Like,
well, this has been shown at events that games have been shown at. And this is something, there is a digital component, which is things we primarily cover on GT, which, if there's something you can download and play with on your phone, then it's not crazy that we'll cover it. So because it does have that digital component, I think that's kind of how it gets lumped into other tech things as far as like toys are concerned.
Right. I mean, we're being nice. like this exists. People can go watch this and associate it with Unki Overdrive. And so for that reason, we have to judge it as the basis of a trailer.
And I could go to the website and learn more information, which I admittedly have not done, but I always try to keep myself in the dark and just rely on what I get from this trailer. The kids are okay and believable. Sometimes kids can be really frustrating and stupid in trailers.
Yeah, they seem
just
actually
very
kind of
non-believable.
bored with it at first.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Because it's like they're showing what looks like their actual kit. So it's like, oh, our thing was boring. We're not going to make it not boring now.
And the video is exciting, and it's, if I was a kid and was kind of interested in the first one but didn't own it, I would certainly go run screaming to my parents and be like, "What is this, Brandon?" I'm like, "I don't even know what it is."
Yeah.
I just know that I absolutely have to have it. But to me, the whole thing just absolutely screams false advertising, whether, and it might not be. I mean, I'd be totally wrong. And I'll run to your desk in an hour and a half, Kyle, and I'll be like, "Kyle, I swear to God, the track actually builds itself in your living room. It's amazing." But I doubt it. Purely just on excitement alone, I can't give this a super bad score because it is an exciting video and it does make me curious about it. So I will give it a 7 because I think it's super average, but frustrating piece of media.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I've been there. Hey, Mom and Dad, there's this really cool toy that does all of these things, and then obviously it doesn't. Be proud of your product. You have a really cool toy here. Show us that. Show us why that is fun and why that's cool instead of making us play pretend with it.
Yeah, I think I initially gave this a higher score because I thought it was some form of a video game. Now that I know that it is a physical thing with real world limitations, I'm not so sure. So
maybe it is a game though. Maybe that's what they're selling. Is that like they're taking this thing and making? I have no idea. There's no text. There's nothing. Just text. Just one sentence at the end of the video. That's like
right, or like a platform that it's on, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like even when you see them with the phones, like you don't have anything on the screen other than controls, so it feels like it would have to be on a TV or something, rather than like in the same thing that they're using as a controller. So I don't know. I guess I go with a 6.9. It's kind of crazy.
So I am the most excited for this game in the room, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, super pumped for Just Cause 3. Very excited about. Enjoyed Just Cause 1, but Just Cause 2 and I have a very, very special relationship. I just absolutely loved running around that world, and so on one hand, I can totally take a trailer that's just like, yeah, fire and smoke and blowing stuff up and that popular song you like, but now sung by a different person. But this should be the announcement. This should be the announcement trailer or the launch trailer. This should be that trailer that I'm like, oh yeah, man, it's going to be a couple days before I get my hands on this game. Or, oh my god, did you hear they're making Just Cause 3? But it's not neither, and so why does this trailer in particular make me excited about the game? Because it doesn't. My hype level for this game was completely stagnant throughout the entire viewing of this trailer.
What did they have as a trailer before this?
This is the first trailer, but they did the huge Game Informer thing months ago.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in a way they try to, they try to hit both of those lines, right? It's like, oh, we had talked about it, but now we're actually going to show it to you. So this is in a way, this is kind of the first reveal. I kind of like that their tone really comes to, it's like, yeah, you know what? You're just gonna blow stuff up. You're gonna burn a lot of things. You're gonna have fun doing it. And then they kind of have like this, what looks like an in-engine tease at the end.
Whoa! If that's an engine, that's a crazy character model.
I think the whole thing's CGI. I'd be very surprised if that was an engine.
I'd say it's a little heavy blood. We see a statue toppling. Clearly, we get a little political here,
Well, you toppled statues and
I don't think that's anything new. I mean, I think that there's a context to like kind of lead you around the world from mission to mission, but
this is a game about grappling hook on
yeah,
jets.
it's about blowing things up in as dramatic ways as possible. I kind of feel with as much destruction as they show, I feel like they might even be trying to fill in some gaps from like Red Faction, because that was really fun, like when they like did their extreme destruction, and then they got too serious with it.
Yeah, good example.
But then again, like they had chaos in the last game, so that's how you leveled up. Is you just caused chaos. So if like you ran a car off the road, or even if you were like in a car and then you like jumped it off a cliff and then like parachuted out, and if you could just hear the car exploding somewhere in the distance, you'd get a little bit of chaos for that, and then you'd be able to buy better gear. And so I don't really know if they're playing up like the engine or the destructibility or suggesting what the game will look like. We're really just playing up like that concept is back. You want this to happen. You want everything to be on fire. You want everything to explode. I don't know if it really plays up like any graphic fidelity or anything. Again, it's just like I don't know what this did for them. I guess my big question, like what did this do for the Just Cause campaign? I think people that were excited about this game, like myself, are still excited. The game was already announced, and then some. I think that was a really big deal when Game Informer announced it. I think it was one of the best headlines they've had in a while. So it's like, what is this? A wingsuit, we knew that. So what are we getting from the trailer?
It does seem like the wingsuit is the announcement of the trailer. It comes after, what do you call it, the double tap? That was our double tap. It was just like, oh wait, it's actually a wingsuit.
I still kind of feel like this is very much serving the purpose of almost a sense of like, people don't really read that magazine.
Right.
It's like this is their announcement of, hey, it's coming kind of thing.
Share this on Facebook.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I get that. I get what you're saying.
So yeah, I guess that's it. So as that, I give it a 7.6. If that's what it is. If it's just kind of like, for you that was gone last week. Just Cause 3, huh? You're like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. I think the music choice is really good. We talked about the last episode about Evolve and how the lyrics didn't really match what his game is about. These lyrics match perfectly, and really help set the tone. It's got like I feel like it's a James Bond intro. It really does. It sets a vibe. I think it actually is a kind of different tone than the game normally has.
And I kind of like with Evolve, you're like, what did you took that song I really liked, and now it's like a nursery rhyme? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where this, it was like, oh, okay, I see what you did. Like taking a Prodigy song and turning it into this, it's just very Just Cause for me. Like, it really kind of fits into the whole, that you're not supposed to take it seriously, like you were saying before, Blood. And so I feel like that all makes sense much more than Evolve did.
Also, take note, other trailers, does not end with pre-order now.
That's a good point.
Some social shout-outs, but that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I went a little higher on this one. I give it an 8. I think it is a pretty good job of, especially someone like me. Like I'm not that into Just Cause. I liked what I saw of the last one, but I didn't get really into it. And so, being that, I legitimately didn't pay any attention to what came out of Game Informer. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Do we want to talk about realism for a sec?
Okay.
Do we dare get into realism? Because
a lot of it's game.
No, not this game. No way.
Because have you jumped out of a plane before, Kyle?
I've never jumped out of a plane.
You've jumped out of a plane?
Yeah.
From my experience, it cracks me up that like the necklace is going, the jacket's going, the hair's going, and his face. Like my face was like Spies Like Us. Like it was like my cheeks.
Yeah.
I was like I could barely even focus on paying attention to how beautiful the scenery was because of how loud just my skin flapping was when I was falling down. So
yeah, it's true. Like your face becomes much more malleable than you realize. And then just like the amount of wind coming to your eyes, if you're not wearing goggles, it would just be really painful to try to look forward.
But that'd be a little silly if you go to Rico and he's like, that might be a little bit too much. All right, there are our scores. Let's move on. So this seems to be kind of a theme this week. If you're not familiar with any of the titles or any of the projects that we're discussing, what's happening here? What game are you trying to sell me here? And I feel like there's a lot of different messages coming at me. Like Warhammer's one that I recognize. So like the Space Marines, like okay, I know these guys. The visuals are actually pretty good, and it I don't know, it kind of feels an engine. Doesn't really feel like this is CG. Like I can kind of see some of the I don't know, like the tech terms, but like just the way things are lit, seems a lot like I'm actually looking at a game being played.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe they're using their models to make like a higher quality thing. I don't know, like there's like not much chance of the game actually looking like this.
The music is completely its own thing, almost kind of like Robert Rodriguez, like Desperado kind of vibe. Like definitely a focus on the weapons. Which
I think too much of a focus, like this weird zooming in on weapons and that kind of thing, just kind of it takes you out of whatever is going on. And the same thing with these enormous tongues. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm not going to take this serious in any form whatsoever. just hack some things in half.
So if it's just hack some things in half, then why is it given this much attention? Why the epicness, Blood?
I bet that's the thing. I'm not that excited or sold on this game. Like I was like, here's a very a trumped up version of a horde mode is what I get out of looking at this trailer. It's like everyone just like standing back to back, shooting in every direction, and
that's a fair point.
Nothing is really doing any damage to them.
And with the focus on the weapons, it kind of reminds me of like zombie mode in Call of Duty, where like if you kill enough of these things, then you can level up and then get the better weapon, and then when you finally like unlock your sword, then you're a lot better. But it just seems like there's way too much gravity to this to be just like a horde mode.
I'm not feeling the drama, though.
Yeah, I don't feel any drama out of this.
Like Blood says, like, they don't seem threatened. Everything they chop, they just chop at once. Like, nobody's close to dying in this trailer. Nobody's scared.
And there's no faces, which, I mean, I guess is an issue for the franchise as
well,
whole.
there's monster faces.
That guy got chopped, actually. I gotta take that back. We got a chop.
Are either of you excited for this? Or at least curious to see more media come out of this game?
Not really, but I'm like in a weird position where like I've never been that attracted to this franchise, and so I've never really dug into it to get excited about it, and that may be like just one of those things where I'm just a big weirdo. Because then, it's obviously, it keeps going, it keeps making new games and spin-offs and selling to a lot of people, so there's a huge fan base there, I know. It's just something that's never appealed to me all that much.
What's funny is these guys make excellent figurines, but they look silly trying to fight with swords. They're just too big and bulky. They're just big, bulky, goofy things, and so it's kind of funny to watch them in motion and try to take them seriously.
It's like the shot at the beginning. The alien's just about to grab him and is like flying towards him in slow motion. And it's like, even if you started swinging your arm right now, you wouldn't get that sword around in time to attack this thing.
Yeah.
But then they cut to a different angle, and like, of course he's got time because.
Nah, he died, man. He died.
Oh, he died.
I don't know.
That guy that got jumped in the beginning. But it's just something that I'm seeing coming up more and more. That it really doesn't matter like what, if this is the first time I've heard about it or not. Just tell me what your game is. Like yeah, I know I can kind of, there should be a little mystery there. Like there should be a little give and take where it's just like, oh, we want to leave a little bit up to your imagination, or that's also kind of the fun is trying to figure out exactly what I'm looking at. But I don't know really what why I should be excited about this specifically. And I think it would just take a real minimal amount of effort at the end of your trailer. Like, I just remember not one specific trailer comes to mind, but I remember like seeing trailers before that had really interesting pitch, and I was like, oh, and then they have the title pop up at the end, and then just in text at the bottom would just be like 4 or 5 words that say, here's what this game is. It'll just say like the genre of the game. And you're like, oh, okay, that sounds really interesting. Whether your trailer conveys that or not, at least I know, stepping out of this, I know what the project is. And for this and for other things that we've watched today, don't know. I have no idea. I will have to do more research, which I just don't have time to do. So I guess I'll just leave it up to this franchise to show me more. 6.7. There's lots of cool shots, and they definitely spent a lot of time to really marry it to the music, which I feel is, again, if I knew more about the project, maybe it lines up with it perfectly, but I think the music is a little bizarre.
So yeah, I give it a 6. I think it washes off of you. I think it doesn't leave the impact. I think the music choice is cool, and that is at least unique. It's at least something, it's an individual choice, and it does leave an impact on the trailer. It's hard to describe. Everyone's huge. I feel like this trailer does not carry weight, dramatically at least. I don't know. You don't care about any of these guys, and you're not even scared of the aliens. They're just a dumb horde of monsters.
I give it a 6.5 for too much tongue.
That's a problem.
Is that it?
With you, Blood?
There you go.
Blood, how can they make it better? How can they make this trailer better?
I don't know.
Okay, so that is it for part 1 this week. We are back. Apologies, we did not do a part 2 last week. For those unfamiliar, part 2, we are going to watch a trailer for the first time that we have never seen before, ever. And we're going to talk about some other trailers that were cool this week, and we're going to pick our favorite trailer of the week. So join us, won't you? If not, we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.